Dear students, we are studying epithelial tissue. You all know that epithelial tissue is known as the covering or the lining tissue. In last lecture we have studied that epithelia can be of two types, simple and compound. Simple epithelium is having single layer of cells while the compound epithelium has multi layers of the cells. The simple epithelium can be classified on the basis of shapes of cells as squamous if it is having flat cells, cuboidal if it is having cuboidal cells, tube-like cells, and columnar if it is having column-like elongated cells. Then we also discussed in last lecture that epithelium can be modified, like it can bear the microvilli which are finger-like projections, or it can bear the cilia which are hair-like structures. The microvilli finger-like projections are reported in the epithelia of stomach and intestine, where it helps in increasing the absorptive surface area, while the ciliated epithelium is reported in the fallopian tubes of female reproductive system and the bronchioles of the respiratory system. In fallopian tubes, the ciliary movements help in propelling the egg towards the forward direction, while in bronchioles, the ciliated epithelium helps in spreading the mucus on the surface of bronchioles. And this spreading of mucus helps to collect the dirt or stick the dirt which is present in the air. Now we are going to discuss another type of modified epithelium, and this is the glandular epithelium. Now let's first of all discuss what we mean by this gland. A gland is an organ or a group of cells that release or secrete specific substances. We have a number of secretory substances like earwax, hormones, digestive enzymes, milk, oil, saliva, mucus. There are a number of substances which are released from different types of glands in our body. Now, who is going to release these substances? These are released by a specific group of cells, and if these cells are associated with epithelium, these glandular cells or secretory cells are associated with epithelium, such type of epithelium is known as glandular epithelium. This means this glandular epithelium is involved in secretion of specific substances like mucus, like saliva, sweat, earwax, oil, tear, milk, digestive enzymes, or the hormones. Now we have to discuss the type of glandular epithelium. For this I have drawn two diagrams here. You can compare these two diagrams. Let's first of all discuss this diagram. Here is a group of cells. These white color cells are the epithelia cells, and I have shown these bag-like structures here. These bag-like structures or vesicles are the structures which are having the specific substance which will be released by these epithelial cells. For example, these bags are containing the mucus. That means this epithelium will release the mucus. Okay. Now, you can see that this layer of cells, each cell is having these bag-like structures, but when the substance is releasing out, you can see that this substance or the mucus is releasing out from this individual cell. Each and every cell will release its substance independently. It will not be contributed by other cell. If this substance is releasing out, this is the secretory product of only this cell. It is belonging to this cell only. Here also this cell is ready to release out its product, and this substance is belonging to this cell only. Okay. So because the secretion is by the individual cells. That's why such type of gland is known as unicellular gland. Each and every cell is going to release out its specific substance individually, independently on other cells. And how they are going to release their substance? It is by the process of exocytosis. You can see here, this cell. It is not ready to release its substance, which is filled in this bag. But when the cell is ready to release its substance, it will produce an invagination. There is invagination, and in this invagination means when the upper surface or the membrane will rupture out, then the content of the vesicles will be released in this invagination, and then it will be oozed out. And this oozing out of the substance from the tip of the cell is known as exocytosis. So this is example of unicellular type of epithelium. Diagram presentation of unicellular type of glandular epithelium, where the individual cells are involved in secretion. And we can give example here, the goblet cell of epithelium of intestine. In intestine, the mucus releasing cells are present, and these mucus releasing cells are known as the goblet cells. So if it is epithelia of intestine, this substance is representing the mucus, and each and every cell is releasing its content. That's why this gland is known as the unicellular type of gland. Now compare this diagram with this diagram. Here I have shown the multicellular type of epithelium. Why I am saying it is multicellular? Because you can see that there is a number of cells present in invagination. This is a pit-like structure in which a number of cells, this red area is showing the cells, group of cells, and each and every cell which are going to synthesize and secrete their secretion, they will pour their secretion in this pit area. This green colored structure is the secretion of all these cells. Say this is saliva. For example, this is saliva. Then this saliva is actually contributed by all these cells. Here this secretion was belonging to this cell only, but here this secretion is belonging to all these cells. That's why we are calling it a multicellular gland. If a number of cells are contributing in secretion purpose, such type of gland is known as multicellular gland. And here we can give example of our salivary glands. The saliva is released by the multicellular gland. So this is a modified epithelium in which the cells are secretory in nature. They are synthesizing and secreting out a specific substance, as here the mucus is releasing out, here the saliva is releasing out. Now the glands can be of two types. They can be classified as exocrine and endocrine. Before discussing what is exocrine and what is endocrine, let's study these two diagrams. Here you can see that there is a layer of cells. All these cells are placed together, and here this is also another layer of cells. This yellow color cells are also forming a layer. But what is difference between this layer and this layer? You can see that these cells are placed in a continuous layer, and such type of epithelium is known as laminar epithelium. While here you can see that they are forming an invagination. There is forming a pit-like structure in between them. They are invaginating, and this invagination is having a neck also. This neck, tube-like structure. This neck is known as duct hair. Now, both the type of cells, here these white cells and here these yellow cells, they will release their secretion. Means I have shown here the glandular epithelium. Here you can see that the bags or the vesicles are filled with specific substances and the cells are releasing out their substances. This means it is a glandular epithelium. Here also this pit is containing this red colored material, the secretory product of all these cells which is releasing out. Both the diagrams are the glandular epithelial cells or epithelial which is going to release specific substance. They are the representing the glandular epithelium, both the diagrams. But what is difference here, that as I have told you, these are the cells arranged in a layer, while here the cells are forming an invagination, pit-like structure. This type of epithelium in which there is no neck-like structure or duct-like structure, such epithelial cells are forming the endocrine gland. The gland in which there is no duct-like structure, this duct-like structure, such type of epithelium is known as endocrine gland. And if the epithelial cells are forming invagination which result into formation of this neck also, duct also, such type of gland is known as exocrine gland. So this is representation of endocrine gland, this is representation of exocrine gland. Basic difference is exocrine glands, this is exocrine gland has duct. They release their secretion through this duct, through this tube-like structure. While the endocrine glands, they don't have any duct-like structure, they release their secretion directly. And this is the ductless gland and this is the gland with duct. This layer is known as the lamellar type of epithelium cell, while here we can name it as diverticulate type of glandular epithelium. This is lamellar glandular epithelium, this is diverticulate glandular epithelium. We can give example of this endocrine gland as that of the cells of pancreatic gland, or where the secretion of insulin take place, and the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, adrenal gland. There are number of endocrine glands in our body and their epithelia contains such type of laminar glandular cells. While that of this exocrine gland, we can give example of salivary glands or the like sweat glands, tear glands. These are the endocrine type of glands, exocrine type of glands. So I hope this special type of modified type of epithelia is clear to you. We have classified exocrine and endocrine glands on the basis of the mode of their secretion.